Houston police were called to a crash this morning around 10 on the Southwest Freeway feeder road near Club Creek Drive. Detectives on the scene tell us the man crashed his car on the side of the road and was pronounced dead, but believe he may have died from another injury.
During their investigation, they found the complainant had been shot one time in the chest. We do not know where the actual shooting occurred. We're going to be working on that.
Detective Lovelace also tells us that the victim was a resident of Stafford. We'll continue to keep you updated as soon as we learn more. A robbery suspect is dead after a shooting in northwest Harris County. This happened outside an apartment complex just off West FM 1960 and Cullen Boulevard. The Harris County Sheriff's Office tells us the victim was able to get the gun away from the suspect and then shot and killed him. That person was detained as deputies continue to investigate. And right now, a woman is still fighting for her life after being shot multiple times. Houston police say the suspect is in custody. Katira Winfrey was on scene this morning and learned a child was also hurt. She has the story from Southwest Houston.
Police and investigators spent hours inside this apartment unit in the 5400 block of Rampart. Inside, police say a woman was shot once in both legs, once in the arm, and once in the chest.
I woke up and I saw these flashing lights, so I wondered what was going on.
Denny Harvey lives across the street and says an ambulance rushed the woman from the scene around 4 o'clock Saturday morning. He says he's seen the people who live inside and is shocked to learn someone ended up hurt so badly.
It's pretty quiet. That's why I said the way they come and go, you never thought it was that house. And that's a pretty sad thing.
In the chaos, police say a 4-year-old girl was inside the unit when the shots were fired. Shrapnel of some kind, police say, hit the child in the knee, causing minor injuries. Police so far haven't said why this shooting happened, but the people who live here can only hope the woman injured recovers.
Don't nobody want to wish death on nobody, because I got loved ones that I have lost, and it's still dear to my heart. But, that's a sad scene.
Reporting in Houston, Katira Winfrey, KHOU, 11 News.
And new overnight, police are searching for a killer after a man was shot to death in his own apartment. Officers were called out just before 10 last night to a complex on Corporate Drive, just inside Beltway 8 near Bel Air Boulevard. HPD detectives say neighbors heard an argument, then gunshots. They did not give any details about a possible suspect. All right, let's jump outside now and talk weather, taking a live look over Galveston on this beautiful day out there. Meteorologist Chris Ramirez is in for Pat Kavlin tonight. Chris, just a gorgeous day out there. So nice not to worry about any triple-digit heat for once. Is this cooler weather sticking around the rest of the weekend?
Well, it is going to stick around for the rest of our weekend. However, we are going to see some cooler temperatures in those overnight hours as we are seeing this drier air filter on in. The coolest night's going to be tonight into early Sunday morning. But today we got a high of 91. Those temperatures warmed up quite fast. We are just a little bit below our average temperature. So expect those afternoon temps to still be a little bit on the warmer side. So lots of clear skies, sunshine, that rain well to the south of us, that frontal boundary pushing all of that tropical moisture just offshore, and we are expecting that to remain in the picture at least through the next 24 hours. So we have at least one more day of this feel-good temperatures across southeast Texas. We're also dealing with drier air in place. You see those dew points in the 40s and 50s for areas out west, even 60s for Bush and the Hobby Airport area. So for this evening, overnight temps dropping to about 78 degrees, 77 by the midnight hour. Ultimately, overnight temps are going to drop to about in the 60s in our areas north of Conroe, Huntsville. Likely 62, 61 degrees, and we could see some 50-degree temps in our far northern areas as we progress throughout the overnight hours. So for our Sunday's forecast, by the noon hour, we're still going to be in the 70s. It's great weather, especially for any watch parties going on tomorrow, but we will quickly see the return of that tropical moisture as that frontal boundary is expected to start moving off towards the north back over open water. So one thing that we're looking at is that tropical wave that's currently in the Bay of Campeche. The National Hurricane Center now giving this a 70% chance of development within the next 7 days. That's a quite high probability that this is going to potentially form to a tropical depression. So something that we are keeping an eye on. The latest models definitely does show this moving into the southern Gulf by Monday. Of course, we have that frontal boundary that's draped over South Texas. That's going to keep that southward, but we are expecting that to retreat off towards the north and weaken a bit as we progress throughout the rest of next week. So we're keeping an eye on the potential for some heavy rain to return by Wednesday and Thursday. And it's the reason why the KHOU 11 weather team has issued a weather impact alert day for Wednesday and Thursday, as we could see that rain, of course, starting to ramp up. There's a lot of uncertainty still on whether or not this is going to form into a powerful storm or whether a powerful tropical depression. So it's important to take it one day at a time as we progress throughout the next few days. But what we do know is that we will see that rain chance return by the middle of the week with that higher flooding threat in place. There are now the Storm Prediction Center now including Houston under a slight risk for flooding on Wednesday as well as on Thursday, as that low pressure system is expected to move off into portions of Louisiana. So the good news is by Friday, that system's going to be out of the picture. But what we have to do for the next few days is that we're going to have to track this tropical wave in the southern Gulf. It's very likely to bring some heavy rain by Wednesday and Thursday, more likely Wednesday night into early hours of Thursday morning. And so what you need to do is check the forecast at least twice a day, because we are in the peak of hurricane season. We are approaching that September 10th date, and what usually churns out in the warmer waters, especially in the Gulf of Mexico or the Atlantic, it can quickly form into something. So we are seeing some vast changes very quickly, at least with these tropical systems that are currently in the Atlantic Basin as of now, as well as that tropical system that's currently in the Bay of Campeche. So looking at your 7-day forecast, we are expecting another day or two of nice and cool weather, but then we will see that shower chance return for Tuesday, and of course, weather impact alert day for Wednesday and Thursday, as we're going to be tracking the development of that tropical wave that is expected to move up the Texas coast across towards southeast Texas. So high temps in the mid 80s, overnight lows in the 70s. That's about 70% chance of showers and storms for Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to have to monitor that coastal flooding threat by the Thursday, as we have already seen saturated soils. So Friday, Saturday, likely to see those temperatures once again warm up to warm and muggy conditions. So something to keep an eye on, at least for the next few days.
So let's enjoy this weekend while we can. Chris, thanks so much.
Separation confirmed. Starliner is now backing away from station and starting its return to Earth.
Check this out. This was from this morning's Boeing mission to bring back its Starliner spacecraft unmanned. That's after having thruster problems and helium leaks. The capsule undocked from the International Space Station and touched down in New Mexico just after 11 o'clock last night.
I am thrilled for our Boeing team and all of our colleagues that worked this mission across the country, on the NASA team and the Boeing team. They've put a lot of heart and soul into this mission over many years. And it's a testament to those people that we got the vehicle back safely today.
Now, the two test pilots who flew Starliner into space will have to remain at the ISS for another 5 to 6 months. They'll hitch a ride home on a SpaceX capsule in February. Right now, there's a first-of-its-kind aviation school at Texas Women's University. It's helping more women become pilots in a male-dominated industry. Caroline Vandergriff spoke to some of the students who took their first flights this week.
Freshman Amani Glenn spent the first week of school in the classroom.
Ready to go?
But now it's time to take to the skies.
I caught the flying bug and I was like, this is what I want to do.
She's one of 24 students in the inaugural class of Texas Women's University's new aviation school.
A lot of excitement, a lot of energy. It's a fun place to be.
TWU is now the only woman-focused university in the nation with the professional pilot program.
I do want to become a pilot, so I'm excited to learn everything.
Genesis Contreras has been interested in aviation since she was a little girl.
But low-key, the price scared me, and I was like, you know what, maybe it's not the way to go.
But she heard about TWU's new flight school after receiving scholarships from the university and knew it was meant to be.
Do what your heart desires, whatever inspires you.
Right now, women make up only about 5% of all commercial airline pilots. This program hopes to not only increase the number of...
Taking a look at some of the other top stories we're following for you this evening. In Dallas, community members held a celebration of life service for fallen officer Darren Burks, who was tragically killed in the line of duty last Thursday. This morning at Watermark Church, friends and family members came together to pay their respects for Officer Burks. Dallas Police Chief Eddie Garcia reflected on the fallen officer's life, sharing how Burks was a former school teacher who recently completed police training in December.
Today reminds us all that wearing this badge comes at a cost, and there's a sacrifice to it, and everyone's celebrating that. And there's honor in that. There's tremendous honor in that. And that's all representative of what you're seeing today.
Officer Burks was later laid to rest this evening. His obituary says he leaves behind a legacy of courage and service. In San Antonio, one family is mourning the loss of their grandmother after a bleacher collapsed at the Kendall County Fair Rodeo just last weekend, sending 7 more people to the hospital and leaving dozens injured. 79-year-old Vera Smith was in the hospital for a week and unfortunately passed away days later. According to new findings from Bernie officials, the bleachers were not inspected prior to this event, and no permits for the construction were ever issued. Right now, car manufacturer Stellantis is recalling more than 1.2 million Ram pickup trucks. That's due to a software malfunction in the anti-lock brake system. The recall covers certain trucks from 2019 and 2021 through 2024 model years, mostly in North America. So far, there have been no reports of any injuries or accidents from this issue. Dealers will be able to update the ABS software free of charge within the next month. And the State Fair of Texas is just 20 days away now, and this year organizers are bringing in new attractions for visitors to check out. Starting with a brand new drone show. This is the first time the fair is putting on this type of display. Stars Over Texas will be a 4-night event starting October 3rd. And for fans of Loteria, the traditional Mexican board game will be played in the Creative Arts Building. These are just 2 of the newest activities. You can find the full list on our website at KHOU.com. All the fun starts on September 27th. Chris, you ever been to the State Fair?
I have, yes.
So you like it?
I do like it. I know it's in Dallas.
Yes.
And,
it's not the rodeo.
It's not the rodeo.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the rodeo. I've never been, but I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I felt like it's a rodeo light. Houston rodeo light.
Perfect way to put it. That's our time for now, but we've got you covered anytime on KHOU.com. And of course, we'll have a lot more for you coming up at 10 tonight. We'll see you then.